Alright guys, so welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my strategy and backtesting it live, show you the data that I've collected so far, which is quite a lot of data, show you some difference between the results on the 4-hour and the 1-hour, but we're going to get right into it. So this is the data that we have so far, around 2,500 trades with around 33% win rate. A client of mine collected this, I collected it myself as well. As you can see, if we scroll down, close to around 100R every year, so extremely profitable. The same strategy on the 1-hour, however, has a lot higher frequency, but also a pretty high win rate, but makes a lot more returns. So the only downside to it is that it does take a lot more time to manage it. But you see that we have around a $500 return in just a single year. So we're going to right into it. We left off at 2016. USD JPY, that's where we're going to get started. We are in January now. And let me quickly explain the strategy to you guys. It is for you to download in the description down below, but the way it works is we have a break to the downside, we have a fair value gap, and we're literally taking it from the high to the low. We're drawing a Fibonacci tool, placing our entry at the 75 level, placing a break even once we hit 0.5. So let's continue doing that. Let me just go back to the cross real quick. Let me delete that. Okay, so right now, a prime example of that is, for example, you see a low, you see a high, you see a lower low. So that's your break structure. Then we have an imbalance over here. We're going to take our fib tool, draw that from the high to the low, place our entry at the 0.75 level, their stop at 1, take profit at 0. Place the order, auto break even at 1R, aka the 0.5 level. Let that play out and see how we get. Let's see, that is our first win. Awesome. So immediately after that, I am seeing a new strategy develop, or a new setup develop, with a low, a high, a lower low. So let's see if we get tagged in on that. I'm going to draw the fib tool from the high to the low. Let's see. And we do this pretty often, guys. We like to backtest once or twice a week within our group. So if you ever want to tune in, want to join, reach out to us on Discord. The Discord is down below. As you can see right here, somewhere around here, it says my name. You can add me wherever you want. Anyways, let's continue backtesting. Another setup, like we said, low, high, lower, low, break, FEG over there, entry. That is risk-free. That is a second win. So right now we are up 6R within 1 month. Not every month works like that, obviously, but that's pretty solid. All right. One thing I'm seeing, yes, I do have the FEG. I was looking if I had an FEG, but I do. So that's another valid setup over there. And it's extremely simple. What we see is a high, a low, and a fair value gap. And the majority of traders will not believe how easy that is. And they'll be like, damn, I got to test it. And then they'll test it and they'll see, and they're like, damn, I'm never going back to complicated setups. All right, so this is our first losing trade, which, you know, is part of trading. And if you don't believe me, then you're never going to be profitable, because losing is part of trading. A lot of people think that it isn't. A lot of people think it's something you can avoid. Fortunately, that is not the case. Okay, let's see. Let's continue playing price forward. So we're going to do 6 months all the way until June. And we're going to play price forward, see when we get a new setup. So I see one right here, which is a little bit aggressive, but it is valid. Let's see if that plays out. So we're basically just waiting for price to return to our 75 level and then extending the fib tool all the way to the low. All right, let's see. We place the order. Alt plus B, by the way, guys, is a shortcut. If you use FXREPLay, if you click Alt plus B, it'll it's a shortcut for a limit order. So this one's a mistrade because this one got closer entry, never tagged us in. So we're going to be deleting that one. All right, let's see if we can wait for price to return to that, but it probably won't. Okay. Let's see if it returns to this. However, this is also a valid trade. I might seem a little off, but it is valid. Why? Well, if you were to go on a lower time frame, you would see this really clearly that this is a valid trade. I personally don't, because I've got quite a bit of experience, so I know, but some people might doubt that, but it is a valid trade. Okay, let's see. We get tagged in, see if we stop loss or break even. All right, so within this trade, it looks like we are getting a new trade. Let's see if we even get to that point, or if we're gonna. That's another trade basically within this trade. So I'm gonna go for that trade as well. I'll break even. That's a little laggy for some reason, but that's fine. Okay, so this one hits stop loss. The other one hits break even. Totally fine. All right, let's continue. We see a long being formed immediately after with a high, a low, and a high. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of setups on the 4 hour, basically on just one pair. So imagine if you have 25 pairs. L plus B. Actually go full screen real quick, just to make it a little easier for you guys to see. All right, so right now it looks like we have a little bit of choppy price action, so we're going to be deleting that trade. If it takes too long to get to the entry, you just want to delete the trade basically. I would say delete this one. I think I may have deleted it a little early because I like to see it a little bit more, usually when the FVG gets filled. So in hindsight, I might actually enter that after all. A rule of thumb for me is to delete a trade once the FVG gets filled and you're basically playing around near the entry level. But I judged this one a little bit too quick. Let's see what we get. Might be a loss anyways. Okay. So far that's break even. Let's see. Okay, that is a break even trade. Let's continue. We're gonna do. I'm gonna do until June, I think, because I tend to lose focus relatively fast. So got ADHD. Some of you guys may have it as well, and you know that staying focused is a little it's a little tough for people like us. If we get back to that. If we do get back to that, we are still going to take that trade. All right. If you guys have any questions about the strategy, the download is down below. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Discord. No charge whatsoever. Just reach out to me, ask your questions, and we'll help you out. See if we can help you out a little bit. Okay, so we do get tagged in eventually, getting really close to stop loss. I think this is going to stop us out. Okay, barely. Almost stopped us out. There's a good chance that this would have stopped us out in reality if we just... Okay, so it would have barely kept us in. But in reality, we know that, price tends to have slippage or spreads. So there's a good chance that we will get stopped out there. That is, I think, trade number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what we have so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's number 6, actually. So far, 3 wins, 2 losses, 2 break evens. So that's pretty positive. So one question I get asked a lot about the strategy too is, can you do this on the 15-minute? And the answer is yes, you can. Obviously, you can. The only thing is, like, test it, right? Like, don't just take my word for it, but actually go and test it. So, by the way, guys, there's a valid trade over here. The only thing I'm missing right now is a fair value gap. So that's why I'm not taking this trade. I'm not seeing, there is a small one here. I missed that, but that would have been a valid trade too. I just didn't see that fair value gap, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I said, the question I get asked a lot is it possible to trade this on the 15-minute? It is. Test it. Don't just take my word for it, but actually go and find out yourself, because obviously everyone looks at the markets a little bit different. So don't take my word for it, please. And I mean it, because I do get a lot of people that do take my word for it. And, it's just a waste, because then they figure out like the strategy does not work for them at all. And just, don't waste your time on it if you're not planning to test it, whatever. All right, another one. All right, that's a loss. That looks like a news candle. I'm assuming it was, but that is totally fine. So we're in May now. It's going to be our last month. After that, we're going to call it quits, and then we'll do the other half in another video, pick up where we left off. So you can also take extremely large ranges like that. The only downside to it is, in my opinion, like I don't want to be stuck in a trade for a month. I don't really, there's swaps, there's spreads, and on prop firms, they'll most likely just find a reason not to pay you out. So not the biggest fan of staying in trades for that long. But if you wanted to, you could. All right, there's another valid trade here. Let's see. And I think this might be right around the last trade of the month because it's March or May 20th. So let's see what happens. All right, we can extend that a little bit. I'm not going to recalculate the position all over again because it's such a minimal difference, really. Break even, and that ends up hitting, what does it do? Take profit. Gotcha. Okay, so I think we are right around the June mark. That is June. This is actually the last trade that is still in May, so we might take that as well. We're going to quit in June and then do the other half of the year in the next video. Let's see. All right, so that's our last trade. That's a stop loss. So we didn't do too bad. Let's go and take a look at the analytics real quick. UJ. Around a 50% win rate so far, 10 trades. We're not done with the year yet. And that is what? Around an 8 to 9 R gain. So obviously on one pair, that's not a lot, but you're not going to trade one pair. So if you have, say, 30 pairs, and they're all really simple to trade, and eventually you end up with maybe 9 to 12 R on each pair, or maybe on some pairs, you're also going to be unprofitable, of course. But then you can end up the year with right around 80 to 140 R, something between that. Obviously, not every year is going to be 80 to 140 R, but still. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you like it. Please let me know if you like these types of videos, because I love backtesting. Well, I don't love it, but I like backtesting. I think it's okay. I think it's decent. But I do like making these videos. So if you guys find these beneficial, helpful at all, let me know, please. And then I'll make a couple more. And then in the future, we'll start doing a lot of these. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Discord. My Discord is linked somewhere up here. You can see it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.